So Thoth he's the arbiter of the deceased. He's kind of Ra's right-hand man. Ra kind of instates him down in the underworld to be his guy down in the underworld, and then he intervenes as the souls are being weighed after they die.
From the very beginning of designing Thoth, we wanted him to be a slightly unique mage. We wanted some way of him to alter his spells.
Well, the idea was that we were going to have this kind of lensing type thing where you could create this sort of shimmering force wall that had hieroglyphs in it, and then you could lens things through it. That was the last version of the kit that I saw. So I'll have to see where they are.
That sounds a lot better than what it sounded like to me, where it was like a giant hieroglyph that you shoot through.
Yeah, it's not going to be, it can't be a big elaborate thing. It's got to be a very subtle thing, and then it's going to be a thing that you can shoot stuff through to get extra power on things.
What has become the crux of his kit and was kind of in there from the beginning was we wanted to kind of be able to combine his abilities in interesting ways. And so the biggest part of that in his kit now is he's got this glyph of pain. He's got this deployable that he fires his other abilities through, and they behave differently based on whether or not he's firing into the glyph of pain or not.
Well, it was very difficult for the programming side. We did a bunch of things on Thoth we'd never done before. We never had any tech previously to projectiles that are already in motion. So that took a lot of code work, and took a lot of design thought and testing to really get that right, as well as the timing and the ranges and the sizes of everything. A lot of iterations happened.
His teammates can also shoot through the deployable and get bonus damage, but only his projectiles get the bonus distance. So when you trigger an event like that, it has to go to all clients. Every client has to make sure that they sync these simulated projectiles so that they extend the correct distance and play the correct visual effects on them. So getting all that stuff working properly was a challenge, but a lot of fun, and I'm glad it worked out properly.
So one of the cool things about Thoth is that he has the head of an ibis, and we like our kind of beast gods, our kind of animal, our less traditional masculine and feminine.
So instead of the traditional Egyptian headdress, which Thoth is kind of generally depicted in, we went with this more royal cylindrical hat design.
The ibis head really creates a distinct kind of silhouette, and also this character is very tall, very lean. So he has a general different feel on him. A lot of ways we just wanted to make sure we emphasize those and play to the things that those strengthen.
I think trying to use this really unique theme of the spell book and the glyphs was really fun to work with on the design side. We had so many ideas coming up with how to combine them. We really wanted to make him a unique spellcaster too, so the possibilities were just endless with this. It was actually really hard to narrow down the abilities to what we have.
The animation team came up with this idea where as Thoth's feet touched the ground, hieroglyphics would rise up to meet his feet, and he would be sort of walking on this invisible glass of hieroglyphics.
He isn't actually touching the ground, and that allowed us to actually go at a slower pace than we'd have to in game. In game, we'd really have to have him run.
So one of the things that we did, animation came up with this concept of having him float and then having him kind of like walk on air. I helped out with creating the particle systems that you see on the ground and on his feet to try to make it noticeable that, you know, he's floating.
The other main thing about him is that he is a god of writing, so we wanted to go very heavy on the hieroglyphs in the art style. So he uses his magic finger to kind of scribe these hieroglyphs and then touches them to shoot out magic.
So for example, you have this timer in the center that lets you know how long you have before the charge goes off. And then you have these small hieroglyphs that show up over time to let you know what level of the charge you're in before you shoot it. So there was a lot of gameplay elements that needed to be incorporated into the particle system.
So that all came together very well, and we managed to get a very unified, hieroglyphic-centric art direction for him that we were all very happy with.
I think he's crazy unique. I think all of the art teams and design team did such a good job making him super unique. I'm just so happy with how he looks and how he plays.
He was a god that was a lot of fun to work with, and I hope that our fan base will appreciate it. I think they'll have a lot of fun with him. I think it's going to be a really fun mage to play.
You know, it's always fun when we try something new, and he's definitely a twist that we haven't done before, so hopefully people will like that and let us know what they think.